Here we are approaching Coventry Station. That means only one thing, viewers. It's time for the 2025 Practical Classics Classic Car and Restoration Show at the NEC in Birmingham. If I hop on the train now, I should be there shortly. I do apologise in advance for any incorrect information during this epic series of shambolic shuffles, probably 12 to 13 parts. If there's any wind noise, there probably won't be much inside there. If I fall over, if I get interrupted by announcements, I'm afraid it's just the way that it goes on this channel. If you don't like that sort of thing, then I suggest you watch Furious Driving, Grand Theft Auto, Fuel Power, Mark on Motoring, all these other channels that you can choose, which are much more technically competent. But the rest of you, we're in for the long haul. Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. Still not sponsored by Lancaster Insurance. Maybe one day. Right viewers, as usual this is a much smaller show than the one in November. It is a lot quieter. And that means not as long a series of slightly shambolic shuffles for all of you. But there's still plenty to do, so we're just entering Hall 5 now. We will be going to see Mr. Coleman, the rubbish mechanic, with which I will be leaving my stuff with. For the event I have to carry it all around with me. But after that we will be going to the traditional starting point of the show, which is the Fiat Motor Club GB stand. If you see me walking past stuff at the moment, I will be coming back. We'll be doing everything, with the exception of the cars that we can't talk about on this channel. So don't worry about that. I haven't necessarily missed something. It's just I am having to work through here in a systematic way. Right, I can see where we're going. We'll be there shortly. Right, viewers, the Leicestershire Classic Car Enthusiast stand.
Hello,
say
sir.
Good morning, Mr. Coleman.
Good morning, Mr. Coleman.
Hello, sir. So what are we doing here today then?
Lots of things. Detailing, attempting concourse. So, yeah, we're getting there.
Excellent, sir. You can see we've got mirrors underneath here as well.
We have, and yeah, I've already been approached by a couple of stands that know what I'm doing with this. So hopefully, in November, we may be over yonder.
Sir, that would be good, wouldn't it?
It will, yes.
Excellent. Right, I shall let you get on with what you're doing.
Yeah, so welcome to the stand.
Thank you, sir. Right, let's go in and see what else you've got here. So this is a 1992 Volvo 940 2-litre turbo. It is absolutely immaculate. I have driven this car. I drove it when Mr. Coleman first got it. You can see how nice it is. He's been working very hard already. I can't remember what actually he's doing to this car this weekend. It doesn't look like it needs anything. But yeah, and here, nevertheless, here it is. And a nice comfy seat that I might be borrowing later. Next to it, this is Mr. Coleman's brother's car. It's a 2000 Alpina B10. This is the touring version. These are exceptionally rare cars. It's based on the E39 5 Series. And they made a really, really small number of these in right-hand drive. Really small number of them. As you can see there. Yep. So 2000 this one. 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds. So actually one of the rarest cars that you might see today, although there is one, actually a pair of them that are a bit rarer. And then we have this very, very nice Focus ST 170 3-door tungsten brake work. Belongs to Mick. He's recently got it. Actually, the bodywork on this car is very, very nice. These are definitely an appreciating classic, I think. So the RS ones are even rarer than that. Morning, sir. All right, thank you. Yeah, the Audi unfortunately is not here. It's at Mr. Coleman's house somewhere, whilst he's here. So we won't be seeing that today, unfortunately. Maybe at some point in the future, but there we are. Right, we must get on. We must go to the traditional place where we go, the Fiat Motor Club GB stand. So viewers, we were talking about rare cars earlier on. How about a pair of Alfa Romeo Arnas? Yes, a pair of them. Now this green one I have seen on video before. It is fully done and on the road and everything. The Alfa Romeo Arna is a very, very peculiar car. In about 1980, Alfa Romeo wanted to replace the Alfa Sud, but they didn't have enough money, they were owned by the Italian government at the time, to create an all-new model. So what they did was they contacted Nissan, who sold cars under the Datsun brand in Europe at the time, and said, well, notice you're developing a new Cherry. Would you like to go into partnership? We'll supply the front suspension, the engine, mechanicals, that kind of stuff, and you supply the body, some of the interior bits, and the sort of rear suspension and a platform, and make a car. I said, yeah, why not? So these were made in the south, I think it was actually between about 1983 and 1987. I forget the exact years that these were sold in this country. Now I have driven one of these, but it wasn't an Arna, it was a Nissan Cherry Europe, because Nissan decided that in addition to the normal N13 Cherry they were selling with the E-Series engines, N12 Cherry, sorry, not the N13, N12 Cherry, they would make a version of the Arna. So the Cherry Europe that I drove, there were actually about two on the road, and they're very similar to these, so just badges are different. You can see we've got things like an Alfa steering column, an Alfa shift lever, but that's a Nissan dashboard. Door cards are different as well. This Arna here, this is a very, very rare sight. It's awaiting some restoration. At one point in the future, probably look like that one, but at the moment not. You can see we've got the boxer engine and front suspension here from the Alfa Sud. It was amazing to drive the one I drove last year, absolutely incredible. This is actually a TI model, sort of 1.5 engine with a green interior, but it was similar to the Cherry Europe GTI. So there we are, viewers. Already we have peaked very early. Next we've got another delightful car, 146 Ti. Quite an early one. Does this still have the boxer in it? Because they changed to the twin sparks later on. Oh, this is a twin spark one, so an early twin spark. 1996. It's very nice. I've driven a 145 with that same engine, but not a 146. Then we have an Alfa Romeo 75. This would be quite a late one actually on that registration, on the K plate, but I think it was discontinued in 1992. Let's look at the information sheet here. Yeah, there we go. It is a late one, it is a 92. These are very, very rare cars now. They are exceptionally rare. Rear wheel drive, of course, transaxle. Kind of similar layout to the Alfa 90 that I drove in 2020, but Mr. Coleman actually used to own. Similar layout, but not exactly the same, of course. And then we have something a lot older. This is a Berliner automatic, a 2-litre twin cam engine. That is very, very nice. It's been modified so that someone who's disabled can drive it. That looks really nice. I wonder if we're just going to put all the bits back together in the next 3 days. Next to that we've got GTV. We're working hard on it already. Looks like it's been in storage for some time. Oh, here's what one looks like when it's finished. Oh look, they're going to recommission the engine on that Busso engine GTV. And that's what it might look like when it's finished. Well, this is a twin spark one. That's quite an early one actually. That's a 96. Yeah, with the twin spark. The thing I like about Alfa Romeo engines is the fact that they look fantastic. They just look brilliant. Right, we got distracted there, viewers, by some Alfa Romeo goodness. We need to get on the Fiat stand. Right, here we are, viewers. I asked Mr. Bushby last night, who owns this coupe, what he had on the stand, and it is quite a load of delight. So we'll start off with this car. This is his one. It's a 99 20 valve non-turbo, and it's very, very nice. I've driven a 20 valve turbo actually many years ago. This isn't quite as fast, but hopefully it doesn't have horrendous torque steer like those can have. But it's actually in very, very nice shape indeed, viewers. That is a really good start. Doing well today. And we've got a little 126. It's quite a late one. It's made until 2000. This is a Polish registered one originally. These weren't sold in this country beyond the early 90s. But they continued in Poland until 2000. That one perhaps is an age-rated plate about 1994. Could be personal plates. We'll just put a Japanese spec parking wand on there. That's probably quite handy. And then a very, very nice 124 Spider. Presumably American. I don't know, most of them were exported to America. They've made them until 1985 actually. This is a much earlier one. This is a 72-73 on an L. Oh, we've got a beige leather interior with wood. I do like a nice beige leather interior. I mean, that's the first one of the show, and it's a pretty decent car to have that on. That is really rather nice. It's very nice indeed. And then we've got a rarity here. This is a 2000 Fiat Marea. It's got the 2-litre engine in it, this. And as you sort of see on here, that is the 20 valve with variable valve timing. Quite sure what they're doing there. There's a lot of work to do, and not the seats or anything around that, so that's good. Then we've got a couple of Pandas, Mark III Pandas. One's a 4x4 from 2007. And this one, this is actually an original press car from 2004. As you can see, there's the photographs of it there. It's a little bit worse for wear at the moment, unfortunately, which is a little bit of a shame. You can see it's had a life. Yeah, RF53 EHU, the oldest known Mark III Panda, registered in 2003, but obviously the car wasn't launched until 2004, so I'd say call it 2004 because that's the model year, and that's very nice, viewers. I think we'll go round and see some Lancias now. Oh yes, viewers, a Lancia Tamer. It's a very late one, this actually. I think they finished in 1994, and this is like a 94-95 registration. I love these cars. I would absolutely love to have a go with something like that. Look at that National Trust sticker as well. Excellent. It's not the V8 one, but it's still very nice. And we've got a little Beta Coupe 1600 on this one. We'll look at the little information sheet here. Yeah, it's a 1980 Series 2 facelift 1. So we'll look at some of the work that's been done here. Upgrade fuel lines, engine mounts, light body repair. Gosh, it's an awful lot of stuff. Fitting the correct airbox. Let's just have a look at the interior whilst we're here. Let's have a look inside. That is wonderful. I think though, I actually prefer this it's HPE. This was the other version of the Beta that was available as a coupe. This is a later one. It's sort of 83, 84 with the 2-litre injection engine. There we go. Yeah, registered in 84. It's bought and restored in 2019. I just love the look of these cars. It's a shame there are so few actually of them left in reputation for Lancia at the time. It meant that within about 10 years of this car being registered, the company pulled out of this country. They just had a very, very poor reputation for rust. Right, viewers. If I don't cover this now, you'll be asking me all day where it is, but here it is. This 1973 Rover 3500 owned by Mr. Richardson with Furious Driving. I'm not sure where he is. He's somewhere around here today. I have seen this car before. He's done a few last minute things to it, but it's not actually in a state where you can drive it all the way here, so it came up on a transporter, I think. He's changed the indicator lenses on there because he's concerned somebody might steal the ones that he's got in his car, which are, I think, Italian spec. The car has a 4.6 litre V8 engine now, and much later ones from the 1990s, rather than the original 3.5. He's had this car an exceptionally long time. I think it was originally Zircon Blue, from memory. One of these days I'll ask him very nicely if I can have a go in this when it's like more together than it is at the moment. There you go, 4,600 or 4600S, or whatever you want to call it. Interesting here. This is, I think, a base model Princess. Yeah, they're 1800. It's just what they were called, not non-HL. So no bits of vinyl or anything, no head restraints and nothing like that. Amazing. See if we can squeeze through here without knocking the sign over, viewers. Yeah, there we go. That's right. This is 78, that one. And then we've got this Austin here, which some kind of drag racer or something like that, is it? Wow. Right, viewers, so we're in Hall 3A, which is where the auction is. What I want to do is, before we go in there, which will be several parts in itself, is just to have a look at a few more stands, and then we don't have to do all the show once we've come out of the auction. So we'll start with this Hurst Park classic car stand here. Oh, a CLK. I drove one of these recently, actually. It was an even later one than this. It was a 2009. This is a bit fancier than one I drove. It's a CLK 280 from 2008. It's only done 9,000 miles. The one I drove, I actually managed to get the hood to work properly, which was good. Obviously, they're worth a lot less if it doesn't work. Yeah, very nice. £13,000. This MGTA by Tickford, 1938. It's one of the first of a T-Series. £30,000. I mean, that does look very, very nice. Oh, of course. I mean, it's worth every penny for the beige leather interior with wood. I do like a nice beige leather interior, viewers. The smell of that is very nice. And then a Pagoda SL, 280 SL automatic, this one. Most of them I seem to see tend to be automatics, but there are some manuals around as well. These are very, very expensive cars. This is a 69 with power steering. £125,000. Maybe more affordable is this 1991 XJ6 Japanese market car, £10,000. These XJ40s aren't actually worth that much money. This is probably towards the top end because it's a Japanese import one. Japanese aren't too keen on leather, actually. They prefer sort of, cloth interiors, things like that. I mean, I prefer beige leather, that's just me, though, but some people like them, don't they? This is in very, very nice condition. I love XJ40. I particularly love the rear lights on them. I love the sort of purple colour of them. They are absolutely beautiful. I drove one of these in 2023, I think it was, and it was brilliant. That had a beige leather interior. Right, let's try to fall over anybody here, viewers. It's always a difficulty. This is a bit different, isn't it? This is much, much older. Oh, hello. My desire for beige leather interiors has been satiated. So this is a Bentley Mark 6 in 1950. So this is the same price as the GTA. I think I know what I prefer. I want one of these. It's very nice. Same as the Silver Dawn. Then we've got something else rather nice, an XK150 from 1959, £40,000, 5-speed gearbox. I mean, you can see all the paint. This isn't like an older restoration, but it's absolutely fine. It's still pretty nice. Very nice. I mean, I don't know about these green painted wheels personally, but I prefer them silver. But apart from that, very nice. Obviously, the gearbox would be useful for me because I'm absolutely terrible at driving cars which have no circuit mesh on first. And originally, these cars came with a Moss gearbox that didn't have circuit mesh on first. £14,000 for this Mark II MG midget from 1966. They've actually got exterior door handles on this. Older restoration, yeah. I'd say looking at the paint, it's not too bad, but you can just tell it's a little bit older. That's fine. I know you can buy midgets for under 5 actually for certain models. That one, of course, is an earlier one, so maybe not. And then something a lot newer, this Aston Martin, which will be not very old at all. Yeah, it's a 2017, it's a Vanquish S. 99,995. Then we've got Daimler 66 X-Jaguar Press Street. Yes, of course, DU with old Coventry plate from 91. Now it looks a bit weird on a J plate, but these were sold until 1992, I think it was. The XJ40 version of the 66 didn't come out till 1993 because they had problems fitting the 12-cylinder engine to the XJ40 for many, many years. So they continued with these Series 3 cars. This one is £30,000. I mean, Daimler is just ultimate in decadent luxury. These are amazing things. I prefer a beige leather interior views. We're going to need those twin fuel tanks, aren't we? Because otherwise we're not going to get anywhere at about 9 miles per gallon. But who cares about fuel economy when you've got something that looks as nice as this? Now we've got something else very decadent here. A Rolls Royce, no less, complete with beige leather interior and wood. And a lovely smell. I do like a nice beige leather interior view. In fact, the Rolls Royce of beige leather interior is still the Wraith, which is I think the longer wheelbase version of the Shadow. This is a really, really late one. This is one of the Silver Spirit was already in production actually in 1981. Okay viewers, I can't resist this stand. We've got some Saabs and Volvos, and to start us off, we've got this P2 V70, not just any P2 V70. Of course, I sourced one of those for a client earlier this month. This is a T5 Ocean Race. Now, the registration actually is an age-related plate. It was registered in March 2006, and this is a March 2006 plate, so that's good. Ocean Racing Special Edition back in the day, and it looks very nice. I mean, my personal preference for a PTV70 is beige leather interior, but of course it's everything. So that's probably one of the most expensive PTV70s you've seen. Better Saab 99. We were very familiar territory because when we were at Eubanks auctions 2 days ago, the sort of featured car that they had there was a Saab 99. It's a 4-door. This is a 2-door. But very familiar, sort of looking at some of the interior, particularly with this kind of colour scheme. I'm not going to sit in it because I don't give permission. And we'll have the old Triumph Slant 4 in here as well. I wonder if this is the 1850 engine or it's something else. You do stand part on there, which Triumph used to put on their engines for years. So it is the earlier 99 with the Triumph Slant 4. In 1972, which is a bit after this car was made, they went over to what's called the Saab B engine, which is a modified version of the Slant 4. But this is the original Slant 4 in here. There we go. Does it actually say what year it is? It's quite small on that information sheet there. Full chrome bumper. See if it actually says. A lot of the time on these they don't say this. Yeah, it's 71 this is. Does it even say what the capacity of the engine is? Now it would be on the grille, I think, but we can't see the grille because the bonnet's up. So right, anyway, we will continue and go on to some more Volvo action with this very, very nice 86 740 GLE. It's been years since I've driven one of these. I drove one in 2020, which looks similar to this, although it was from 1988. This is an automatic. Such a distinctive sort of design, isn't it? It couldn't be anything other than a 1980s Volvo. Obviously, being a member of Volvo Owners Club, I am slightly biased as to these sorts of things. The suspension in them is quite soft. They're very comfortable. I remember something that's even more familiar with because my mother had a 240 from 1990 to 2001. It was a 1989 2-litre GL estate. This is a 240 GLT, so we got a bit more power specification. This has also been a bit sort of modified, but The design of everything in here, the interior door handle, for seats, things like that, the dash, it's all very, very familiar to me, even though this is a much posher version than we had. I really should have go another 240 at some stage. The one I drove years and years ago was basically on its last legs, which is a shame. This is absolutely not. I think it's the same era. This is I think an 89 or a 90, and this is an 89. So yeah, but it's pretty special. In fact, I think we need some more Volvos, so we need to go over there. Well, it's something a bit unusual at Volvo Owners Club stand this time. They're all Volvo 850s, they're all T5Rs, they're all from 1995. In fact, this particular one is owned by Volvo UK themselves. So yeah, it looks kind of primrose on camera. The car is actually darker in real life. So 30 years old, this car now. I do very much like the P80 platform Volvos. Obviously, I still own a C70 on this platform. I think they're absolutely brilliant. I slightly prefer the saloon. I'm more of a saloon person than a state person. But the states are great as well. This one's a manual. You could get either an automatic or a manual. So you can see here, there's the old white block engine. 20 valve with 5 cylinders. Yeah. Looking very, very nice under there indeed. And another estate version. Yeah, they're all from 1995, these cars. You can see they've all got the standard wheels on them, which look really good. And a black one. According to the information that I've just read on these sheets, I didn't know, they're only available at the time in yellow or black. So black or yellow. Which one do you prefer? So, more Volvos. Volvo Enthusiast Club VEC 2010. Volvo V60 Polestar. I just drove one of these actually. It wasn't a Polestar, it was a T4 from 2017. And they are quite nice to drive. This is bonkers car. This is the later 2-litre model. The earlier Polestars were actually a T6 engine. They were a variant of that white block that's in the 850R, 850 T5R over there. Yeah, that is also, I think, the correct colour for a Polestar. It's that sort of blue. Very nice. We've got Amazon here. I think we've got an information sheet as well that we can have a look at. Yeah, it's a 131 Amazon from 1968. The 144 was already out by this stage, but it's this policy that Volvo had, which I think started with the Amazon, but they kept the PV 544 in production until 1965 when the Amazon had come out in 1956. So nothing unusual there and seeing overlap. Oh my gosh, an 1800S convertible with cow horn bumpers. Wow, it's a 65 on a C. I don't think I've ever seen convertible one of these before. Yeah, special build. Wow. That must have taken a lot of work. Also, we've got this very special 262C here. These were rare as anything, very, very expensive. You can see the car is much lower than a standard 264. Got the PRV engine in here. That's a personal plate. We'll just check the year on the information sheet. It's in 1979. And it looks very nice. I think those are the original wheels as well, actually, on that. But we've got not an 850 T5R, this is an 850R, which is slightly later than the T5R. I think we've got even lower suspension on this and even more power. Let's check the year of this. It's a 96. It's the 850 was discontinued in late 96, early 97. So that beige leather interior view is. So yeah, part one. No, oh yes, and we've still got wood. Excellent views, we're doing quite well. So we'll end this part with some more Volvos and continue with the Volvo Enthusiast Club. And here we have a 1995 40 celebration. I think they'll discontinue the next year, so it's quite a late one. Obviously we need some work going on in here. Got the Renault F-Type engine in there. See a 2-litre model. We've got the related 440. This is an XI, which was sort of towards the bottom of the range back in the day. It's a sort of kind of midlife free facelift car, an automatic. 93. The facelift was a little bit later than that, but the one I had was a 1991 460 GLE, which is similar but not exactly the same as this. It's got different mirrors and things on this. Your 1.7, which is the original engine capacity for these. When they were launched, 440/89 in this country and 460 1990. Hello to Jakob. Plastic bike. Volvo 242 GT. Wow, this is a rare thing, isn't it? A unique Volvo. The only 242 GT sold in Great Britain from 1978. I don't know why only they sold one. Special order. As found with interesting seats. I'll have to go in a little bit. There we go. Those interesting seats. Very nice. Very unusual. We've got something unusual as well. This is a 240 pickup. I don't think I've ever seen one of these before. Oh my gosh. An 88. It's based on an estate model. We've got the sort of later front end on this. And we've got another P2 V70, this time an ex-police car. 2002, a T5 model. I think most of these are automatic actually. These pounded the motorways for years and years and years. Oh, this is a manual. I thought most of them were auto. We've got this sort of low specification interior on here, based on like an S model or something. The SEs tends to be leather, and they were the most common type. There's stuff in there. There's thousands of pounds worth of equipment in here. And then we'll finish with this very, very nice 1800 from 1967. Is this a replica, or is this one of the cars used in the series? We'll have a look at the information sheet.
Well, that is a new.
That is
I did succeed. That's the one.
that is crazy. Yeah, it's a replica. This one. Still very nice. I like it very much. Anyway, we need to go to the auction. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below, and we shall see you again in part 2 for some more incorrect information.